5 players who will stay up if their clubs go down. It looks like being 3 from 4 in the Premier League relegation scrap. But this quintet should stay up regardless. Dominic Calvert-Lewin: should Everton's descent continue all the way to the Championship, there will be an exodus from Goodison, likely led by the manager. Where Frank Lampard goes from there, who knows? But we know already that he won't have as many offers as his leading centre forward. The queue for Calvert-Lewin began forming 2 years ago when Manchester United positioned themselves towards the front. Since then, Arsenal seem to have jostled their way to the head of the line, with the Gunners in dire need of a striker when their 2 remaining centre forwards become free agents in the summer. United seem rather more keen on Richarlison these days, despite his poor form this season. Calvert-Lewin's recent body of work is hardly impressive. He's missed most of the season because of injury, but memories of both terrorizing Premier League defences are fresh enough to ensure they will get the moves necessary to spare them the ignominy of playing in the second tier. The sale of Calvert-Lewin would suit all parties, even if Everton managed to pull up from their nosedive towards the bottom 3. The Toffees will need the cash, especially in the wake of losing their Russian-linked sponsorship agreements, and Calvert-Lewin will be ready for the next step towards a Big Six club to further his England hopes. Jordan Pickford: the same goes for Gareth Southgate's no. 1 Pickford might not enjoy everyone's trust, and doubts in the Everton goalkeeper are understandable after some ropey form for the Toffees this season and last. But he remains one of Everton's most sellable assets. His international status will ensure plenty of interest in Pickford, who has yet to make an error that has led to a goal in 42 England appearances. Despite competition from the likes of Nick Pope and Aaron Ramsdale, he remains Southgate's firm first choice. To maintain that standing, Pickford will need to be playing in the Premier League, especially if Ramsdale's reputation continues to grow. Any serious dip in status or form at club level could have catastrophic effects for the former Sunderland stopper's international prospects ahead of the World Cup at the end of the year. Who would take him? Tottenham might. Spurs have been linked with Pickford in the past, and still they need a long-term successor to Hugo Lloris, even if the France keeper has signed a deal for next season. Maxwell Cornet: Burnley's summer signing is playing first to keep the Clarets in the Premier League, but secondly to save his own skin if Sean Dyche's side cannot claw their way out of the bottom 3. To do either, Cornet needs to be fully fit, which has not been the case for a few months now. After signing from Lyon last year, the attacker bagged 5 goals in 6 games, making it appear that Dyche had unearthed a £15 million gem. But Cornet's output has slowed amid numerous disruptions. COVID, injury and Afghan involvement have all hampered the Ivory Coast star's efforts to maintain his flying start. Dyche needs him to finish the season just as strongly. Do that and there will be no shortage of clubs willing to at least give Burnley their money back if it is not enough to keep them in the Premier League. The queue for Cornet will surely be longer than the line for Dwight McNeil, with the 22-year-old having offered just a single assist in 27 games this term. Emmanuel Dennis: it seems certain that Ismaila Sarr will be on his way, and since it was speculation linking him with Newcastle that prompted this piece, we've looked elsewhere in Roy Hodgson's squad for a player who will have no trouble staying up if the Hornets go down. Slim pickings though it was, Dennis stands out as one whose top-flight status will be secure. The 24-year-old is Watford's top scorer with 9 goals while offering 5 assists. Only one of those goals, however, has been scored for Roy Hodgson. The newish Watford boss's priority upon taking over from Claudio Ranieri was to tighten up a leaky defense, which he has managed to do, but at the expense of restricting the Hornets' creativity somewhat. Since Arsenal need a couple of strikers, they could do worse than supplement a top-class centre forward with Dennis, who can play anywhere across the front line. Max Aarons: if we must include a Norwich representative in this list, apparently we do, then Aarons is likely to be the next cab off the Canaries' rank, following Emi Buendia and Ben Godfrey in making a big move. Aarons might have been surprised to start the season as a Norwich player, given the intense interest in the right-back from some of Europe's biggest clubs. 2 years ago, Barcelona wanted to sign him. In January last year, it was Roma who submitted an offer, while Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich have also been linked. Those were just the continental teams tracking the 22-year-old. So it should be inevitable that, after one more year at Norwich as a Premier League player, Aarons will be on his way this summer. But has this season enhanced his credentials? Under Dean Smith, Aarons has had to adjust his game, reining in his attacking instincts somewhat as the Canaries look to solidify their base. While that means his efficacy in the opponent's half has dropped off, it has allowed him to showcase a more rounded game. There will be takers for Aarons, but his suitors might not be as grand as they once were.